So I'm sitting on the plane and it's been a really hectic weekend in New York. Hectic meaning not just busy, but also just a lot of food. And I find myself downing the bag of pretzels and the biscotti that the flight attendant gave to me. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like fear is washing over me. My stomach is 3 times the size. I haven't gone to the bathroom all weekend. And I'm just abusing myself with this food. Like, what the heck is going on? Today, we're going to talk about the one thing that you can do to recover from a slip up quickly. I am Stacy Portugal, and I am a weight loss coach, and I help women over 40 live large while losing the weight and just getting off that diet merry-go-round. So today, I'm going to take you through the one thing that you can do for damage control. I mean, let's face it, the quicker that you can get a handle on what's going on, that slip up, the quicker you're going to be able to get back on track so that a slip up doesn't just turn into an avalanche. So I don't know if any of you recognize that scenario, but maybe you've downed the bread basket in the restaurant and then you're like, whoo, just might as well go for another cocktail. I'm gonna boot the fish. I'm gonna go for the hamburger and fries. And you know what? I'll have a little dessert to boot, right? It's so easy to let one little thing just take us off track. And allowing that to happen is the kind of self-sabotaging behavior that can really keep us from getting to goal. So today we're going to talk about the one thing, the one step that you can do to recover quickly from a slip up. And that one thing is to listen. To listen to that banter inside your head. So here's the deal. It's not about if you're going to have a slip up, if you're going to go off plan, if you're going to be tempted by, the bread basket in the restaurant, or, you're on vacation and you want to be part of the crowd. It's not an if, folks. It's a when. Okay? We're all vulnerable to it. If we live a life in which we are out and about, being engaged with the world, it's really not, it's not hard to be tempted at every corner. So we really have to think about when temptation does slip in, and again, it's not an if, it's a when. When temptation happens, you need to really have the skill to get yourself back on track as quickly as possible. So when I think back to this flight that I took on Saturday, I had just overeaten the entire weekend and I felt so miserable. My stomach was just huge. I had no energy. I couldn't go to the bathroom. And I was just really, really miserable. And when I think a little bit deeper into what was actually going through my head on that plane, I was just mad at myself. I was berating myself. I had that all or nothing attitude. Hey, I broke a dish. I might as well just break the entire set, right? I mean, are these attitudes helpful? Would you actually break the entire set if you broke a dish? Of course not. If you fell down a step, would you throw yourself down the flight of stairs? Of course not. You would stand up, you'd brush yourself off, and you would head with dignity down the rest of the flight of stairs. And that's really what this is all about. It's really about damage control. It's really about getting back on track as quickly as possible. And it really boils down to our attitude. about the banter inside of our head that is essentially nonstop. But when it comes to sabotaging behavior, more often than not, it is caused by your own self-talk and your attitude. So we really have to recognize that going off track, having a slip up is going to happen. Having the ability to listen, to be really still at those moments and think about those thoughts that are barely on the surface. I had no idea that was going through my head until I really slowed down and I thought. And I realized, hey, wait a second. I had to turn that thinking around pretty darn quick. Being mad at myself was not productive. Having an all or nothing attitude is not going to get me to goal, right? So what I needed to do was to slow down and just listen. And once you really, really listen and begin to notice that banter in your head, you're way more likely to be able to turn it around. So these are just two really small examples of when our attitude, when our self-talk can really contribute to sabotaging behavior. And folks, we are going to have an attitude adjustment week next week, starting on the 30th. So all you have to do is register. I'll leave you the link. Or if you're on my website, you can just go to join the challenge. I'm going to be giving you guys exclusive content and videos, and we're going to tackle the most common self-sabotaging thoughts, the most common scenarios, and ways that we can use our attitude to get ourselves back on track and get ourselves to goal. So I hope you'll join me for our Attitude Adjustment Week. Just go ahead and register for it, and it's free, guys. So that's it for tonight. Have yourself a fantastic night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.